Hello, welcome back to Algebra 1. Here we're finally going to conquer the concept of dividing real numbers. So we've learned how to add real numbers, meaning negative and positive numbers. We've learned how to subtract them. We've learned how to multiply them. And now we're going to learn how to divide them. And in fact, the rules for division, as far as the signs go, are the same as for multiplication. So for instance, if you have a number A and a number B, and you want to figure out what A divided by B is, or the sign of A divided by B, it's a very simple process. And you just have a couple of cases to consider. If you have both of them positive, you're going to get a positive. If both of them are negative, you're still going to get a positive. And if this one's negative and this one's positive, you'll get a negative. And if this one's positive and this one's negative, you'll get a negative. Now, the reason why I flew so fast through that is because it's exactly the same rules that we had for multiplication. Basically, if the signs match, you're always going to get a positive answer. And if the signs don't match, you're going to get always a negative answer. Those are the exact same rules for multiplying numbers together. So you don't have to memorize anything differently for dividing numbers. One more thing I want to remind you of in general, remember, or I should say recall, for fractions. Remember we talked about fractions quite a bit before. We spent quite a bit of time on fractions. And I taught you that if you have a fraction and you're dividing by some other fractions, for instance 3/4, so 1/2 divided by 3/4, the way you handle that is you say that it's basically turned into multiplication. Remember we said that you multiply the first fraction times and you flip the other fraction over, so you make it 4/3. And that's how you handle all fraction division. You basically multiply the first fraction times the flipped over version of the second fraction, but now you know when you flip over a fraction it's called a reciprocal. So you see, really, I didn't say this in the last section because I didn't want to confuse you, but basically division of any kind